And I am now recording.
Okay, sounds good. Great. All right, so here we are. Here we are at the quarterly now.
Okay.
Right now, it's just me and Oaken are the two admins that are here, and Tatsu is currently in Arizona right now. His family suddenly thrust a family trip on him. So he might be joining us in Discord at some point if he's able to get to an area where there is Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he just posted in our chat that he's out of cell range, but it's spotty, so
Oh, okay.
probably won't be seeing him in that case. But I posted in the Discord chat what our kind of itinerary for today's meet is. We'll just go over that real quick.
Sorry, before we continue, can I just have the Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi? I'm on the Salt Lake.
The Oaken Connection Library?
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Sorry, I'm gonna move this mic real quick. Sorry for the noise.
Just so we can pick both of us up. Do I have to talk any louder, or is it doing good?
No, I think you should be good.
Okay, so our itinerary for today is we're going to go over the previous quarter, just kind of talk about our previous meets, what worked, what didn't work. The second topic we have is we've been working on a waiver and parental release forms so we can help our minors be able to attend our meets. The third topic today is our outreach team that we're going to be putting together. Fourth topic will be our upcoming admin elections, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. And finally, we'll go into our quarter meet suggestions, and then we'll wrap it up with anything else anybody wants to bring up. If anybody has any suggestions of things that want to be brought up right now, go ahead and put them in the Discord chat, and we'll keep an eye on that and note them to talk about later. So last quarter, it was quite a good quarter. We had a lot of good meets. No snow, unfortunately, which was frustrating. So a lot of our snow meets turned into coffee shop meets.
Mm-hmm. That was the only problem.
But we did have some really cool ones. We got to do the zoo lights. I think that was the first time our group's ever done that.
Zoo lights was fun.
We did Crystal Hot Springs again. That was a lot of fun. And we got to do a trampoline meet last weekend, which was interesting.
That was exhausting. It was suggested we do that in fursuit. I would never do that in fursuit because that sounds hot and sweaty and exhausting, and I'm gonna die.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Even without one on, it was tiring.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. And the only sort of like issue with it was just like we wanted to do fursuits, but we couldn't quite get the permission in time.
Yeah, they weren't very responsive.
Yeah, they weren't. We emailed them. Both of us emailed them, and we got no response from them. So, okay, but I'm kind of glad because I wouldn't want to do it. I'm kind of glad I didn't do it in fursuit anyway.
Yeah.
If we did get the permission, I probably would have gone in fursuit, and I probably would be dead right now.
Rip Tom. So, if you guys...
Those jumping places are fun, but they always make me feel old because it hurts my back.
Yeah. The foam pits were a lot of fun.
The foam pit was fun, yeah.
Just kind of flip off.
But it's like if you jump in, we went to a dodgeball area and we tried to do a bit of dodgeball, but it was like I could do that for 30 seconds and then I was like, I'm dying. Okay.
Does anybody else have any feedback on what worked, what didn't work for us last quarter?
I would personally just say less, let's the snow meets or just maybe less of the similar meets because it was basically a lot of the same sort of stuff. It was like a lot of the same stuff, and it was like, well, we have no snow, so we're just going to go to a coffee house.
Sure.
So,
which some years we get snow, some years we don't. We can't really control that.
Mm-hmm.
So. I think one thing we've talked about before is some of these more popular meets, like the Crystal Hot Springs, we're actually considering breaking that out of the regular 2 free meet and then paid meet rotation, and just having it be its own thing that we kind of do on a regular basis, because it is popular and it's going to take up space where we can have the ability to discover new meats, like Crystal Hot Springs. The other ones we found out last year was the bonfire meats. Those were a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. We got to do a lot of new things, but if meats that are really fun, like Crystal Hot Springs, are hogging up those spaces, we're not going to get to find what other fun things we can do too. So we'll probably move away from that on some of these ones that have gotten elected more than once for voting, and move them to their own meets. So looks like we got some people typing. So Nico says Hot Springs is a seasonal meat.
Is that supposed to have a question mark or a period?
I think he's probably meaning it's like a wintertime sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
I went in the summer last year and it was pretty miserable, especially during the day.
Sometime, yeah. Hot Springs, yeah, is definitely good in the winter.
Let some people finish typing that are in Discord. Do you guys have anything here for the people that are here?
As far as feedback goes, I love that we do the game nights. That's probably my favorite thing we do on a regular basis. And I think the noodle nights went really well too.
Yeah. Game nights are not going to be stopping anytime soon.
No.
I thought it was really nice, the game night anniversary. That was
that was awesome.
Cool event. So cake and the gift and everything was really cool. So.
Yeah.
I was really happy that they were happy with us. Well, we already knew that they were happy with us, but it was really good to sort of see it.
Yep.
No, I agree. It was great getting to meet the owners and see how much they loved us. And hearing them say, hey, you guys are our favorite customers. That was awesome.
Exactly.
And we'll just want to make sure we continue to support them, buy food when you go, buy drinks. That's why we're there. That's why they let us in there. It's not a place we can just squat and mooch off them. We got to support them too for providing that space for us. So keep it clean and pick up after yourselves and buy food, and they'll let us stay there probably for as long as they're there. I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Years and years. Yeah, and then the noodle nights we've got. It's like with noodle nights, we're getting some like places that we can like regularly go to, Ginza, Tankotsu, it's like Ginza really enjoyed us last time and they encouraged us to come back, and so that's what we're doing for February. It's February's noodle night. So yeah, the Tonkotsu is the one he's talking about. That one was good for it being a last minute like shift over, because the place that I had called ahead and asked, hey, can we do we're gonna get a group of people here. We're gonna be coming over on this night. Oh yeah, that's fine. Just and then I get there and it's like, oh, we're renovating. It's like, okay, you just lost like 30. You just lost like a giant group of 30 people.
Yeah.
People. We're just gonna go to Tonkotsu then. Yeah.
I really
There's
liked
also
that
different
place. The
styles.
food was really good.
Tonkotsu is definitely one of the better places, and it's pretty reliable too. So
I wish we could do Jinya, but it's too small.
Yeah, that one's small. Okay.
I also want to give a huge shout out to some of the people who've done some of their own member meets in this past quarter. Ariat from St. George did the Park and Sushi meet. I don't know if anybody here got to go to that, but I did hear some good things about it. A lot of fun. Signa's kind of picking up on his art jam again at Matizo Coffee. That's getting more and more popular as they continue to do that. I think they just moved it to Friday nights from Thursdays. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Their schedule's in flux right now. Pix did the Valentine's Hugs meet on Valentine's Day this year, and I swear I saw a post on Facebook that the Standard Examiner, which is an Ogden local newspaper, did a spot on that meet.
Yes.
So if anybody can find that, repost it, because
I'll post it, yeah.
we want to share it again because that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Another Ogden meet. It's awesome to see some more Ogdenfers getting some stuff organized up there. They did Ogden Lights. I think they did a photo shoot up there with the Christmas lights right before they came down. And then today, Jazzy's doing her chicken nugget meet. That's going on right now or in an hour or so.
Yeah, it's like going on like right now-ish. So
So it's great when members of the community are able to step up and help out organizing these meets. You know, it does take some time to do all of these things, and any help that we can get, it basically allows us to expand our community and our influence. Getting up to Ogden and into Utah County is difficult for everyone, so we really appreciate all the people in those areas that have stepped up and are making things happen in those areas. And Chrono has just linked the Standard Examiner post, so if you guys want to check that out, that's really cool.
Did you do that in the Discord chat?
I did, yes. Sound dropped out, I know.
Are you still connected, Paul?
Oh,
you got DC?
Connect to the internet. Right. Oh, let's see if I'm back. I think I am.
I see your voice.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Yep.
So yeah, that's really cool that Standard Examiner gave us a spot, and all these awesome photos that they posted. It looked like we had a good time there. So, thanks to Pix for organizing that. Anything else anybody wants to add before we move on to the next section? Okay. So the next topic we want to talk about is a waiver for all members and for minors. Basically, what kind of brought this up was Cigna's Art Jam. There were some questions on allowing underage people into that meet. And basically, we did some research. We talked to some other businesses and stuff in terms of how they handle minors and liabilities and issues and everything, and right now we are currently working on a document to a draft of a waiver document that everyone will have to sign. It makes it better for everyone because it doesn't make organizers liable for meets or admins. Especially since we're starting to do member meets now, we want to make sure that people are taken care of when they're organizing these things, and so having the liability placed in the correct places is the best thing that we can do. As far as minors, we'll probably put together a parental release form as well.
So yes, this is everyone, but it's a one-time deal thing.
Yes.
So it's like you sign it once and you're good for, I guess,
forever, basically.
Yeah, forever.
The question Mystic had was, so everyone signs these?
Yes, everyone, whether you're 18 or older or under 18. If you're under 18 and you're 16 or 17, then you just need to have a parent sign it.
Okay.
And we're working out some of the details on that, how to get it signed. It's tough because you want the document to be signed correctly, but people try to forge parent signatures sometimes, and that makes it hard. We understand that. But we think that this will help, I guess, just make it so everybody that wants to be involved can be involved in our community. And
will we see a preview or not until it's finalized?
so I have a draft right now. It's still in progress.
Mm-hmm.
I can share it right now with you guys. It's heavily focused on the safety aspect of it. Basically, I used a template from the trampoline place's liability waiver and modified it heavily to fit more of our needs. We'll continue massaging it. I want to pull up some convention liability waivers as well, and kind of bring more applicable topics into our waiver as well. But this is what we've got so far. If you guys want to take a look at that. And with this, you'll have to have an adult sign it if you're an adult, or have your guardian sign it if you're a minor. And we'll work on how and where you can sign this. We'd prefer to do this digitally. It'll just save everybody a headache from having to sign it on paper and getting with everybody to track it. But we think this will work out pretty good, and like I say, everybody that wants to come to meets will be able to come. With that, we want to make sure we do it right too. So we would prefer to get some legal guidance from a lawyer. There's websites out there that can help you generate these types of documents, and so we'll probably try that out. We don't know how much it's going to cost yet, but we may see if people would be willing to donate to this so that we can help pay for that, because it's not free, and it's going to cost some money. So
It will cost money, we just don't know how much. Okay.
any comments on that from anybody here or online? It's it's a pretty standard liability form. It's, if you hurt yourself, it's your responsibility.
Lacking on Discord.
I definitely think it's smart to have a liability form.
Right.
And
More
it would suck
involved
for
in
someone
other
to get
person.
hurt and then have problems happen.
Yeah. The UFF used to have a waiver from what we hear from what Tatsu has told us,
Mm-hmm.
is that UFF had a waiver at one point. Yeah, it was just kind of so.
And basically, it's like, if worst case scenario, this is the worst case I can think of. Let's say we're at a meet and for some reason the building that we're in catches on fire and burns down. None of us want to be liable for that.
Right.
And so, if the person that caused that problem, if it's malicious or accidental or whatever, that's going to be their responsibility to not do that or to take care of it if they do that. Other people should be liable for other people's mistakes or bad intentions.
Yeah. A little bit more clickety-clacking going on. No, in that case you would be reliable. In that case you would be reliable, Nico, if you bite somebody.
No biting, Nico.
Alright. Just have one message going on right now.
So we'll let Riley finish up here.
Yeah.
How do we join this chat?
Do you have Discord or?
Are you on Telegram?
Yes,
Are you in the announcement chat?
I am. Is it on the
Yeah,
announcements?
there should be a join link there.
Okay, great, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
So next topic, we'll move on to the outreach team. Basically, the thought that I've had with this small project is, I think by far and away the most effective method I've seen to invite people to meets is through word of mouth. And everybody has a lot of different friends, and it's difficult for one person to do all of that. I had a lot of success with the game night meets, with bar meets, inviting people to those. For some reason, there's a personal side to it when you reach out to someone and invite them personally to a meet. And the thought behind this is that we get a group of people who are kind of like, just good Samaritan people that want to help find people, want to help invite people to meets. if you have, say, somebody at a meet that's sitting in a corner all by themselves, one of these people, they would be encouraged to go over to that new person and say hi, hello, make them feel welcome to the community, and just kind of, make our community even that much more welcoming, and encourage that sort of behavior going forward. If you're interested in helping out with this, just let me know, or let Palm know, or Tatsu know, and we can get you into the Telegram chat on that. We're going to hold probably like bi-monthly meetings on Discord, and we'll just talk about things that we can do to help make people feel more welcome in our community. Any comments from those that are here at the library?
No comment.
Good.
We have some people typing.
That you may need help with any special setup that you may need help with.
We're still kind of working out the details on exactly what we're doing and how we're going to kind of organize everything. Was kind of the intent of our first couple meetings for this, is to kind of sort that process out. So if you're interested in helping out with the setup stuff, just be sure to attend our meetings. We'll get you in on the Telegram chat if you're interested, and then you can attend those meetings.
All right.
Next topic.
All right. Is this the election?
Yes.
Okay. So, one thing, as we have been going through, one thing that we have noticed is that Oaken and Tatsu were elected at the same time. And come a year from now, they would basically, their terms would be up, and then we would have a situation of we would have two admins. We'd be out two admins and have to do a double election, which is kind of a pain. So we were kind of considering it, or figuring out how we were going to do this, and so we decided what we're going to do is we're going to take on a fourth admin for just a temporary while, just for like temporary from about May to that February, that 8-month span. And so what that means is we're going to be holding elections around, we're going to start the election process around April, like late April, and it will go into May. And we're thinking, and so if you are considering, think about people who you would maybe want to be admin. Essentially, we're not taking it. Nobody's going out. It's just we're bringing one extra person in. So consider who you would think, who you like to be admin. Nominations will go up again. We'll do our usual election where we will nominate somebody. Or you'll be able to nominate somebody when we put that post up in April. So don't put up your suggestions now, because we're not gonna pay attention to them right now. We will put a post up that says, all right, nominate who you want, and basically to nominate somebody, you would basically just say, I nominate this person, and then you would have somebody else second that person, and then that person would say, I agree to the nomination, or I accept, essentially. So basically it's two people. You need two people to nominate that person. You can't nominate yourself. You need two people to nominate you, and then that person needs to accept. And then after that, what we are going to do, we're going to change up the process slightly. And that after we've gotten a list of whoever of our nominees, they will then go and do an opening statement. At the same time, we are going to put up a Google form to submit questions for these nominees. Because normally how it was done is they would do their opening statement, and then at that point we would open up a thing where people would just ask questions. And from the last election that I was in, that's sort of that's really difficult to do. That's really difficult for the nominees, simply because it's like you do your opening statement, and then and then when it opens up to questions, it's like I got like one question the first day. I was like, okay, I can answer that pretty easily. And then the next day I got 5 questions. It's like, oh, okay. And then it was like, and then questions were still coming up towards the very end, and I was in a mad rush to like finish up all the questions and answer as many questions as I possibly could. So essentially that was kind of why we. And so we're kind of thinking what we'll do is we'll have everyone submit their questions to a Google form, and pretty much just and then what we'll do and then us as the admins will go through the questions that everyone has submitted, and we'll pick some of the better ones and some of our top favorite ones. Basically, this also eliminates getting questions where it's like the same question but different words. And basically, it's like if it's like a very similar question, then we'll just kind of like bundle the question together and whatever. And also it kind of prevents from doing we wouldn't necessarily. I don't think we would have something where we would have questions for specific admins. I think it would just be questions for. I think all the questions would have to be to all the nominees. In that case, so that it would. So that you have less like targeted questions and more just like questions that you would want to know. I guess if I don't know.
Yeah, and the other thought we had on it too was sometimes when a question's asked, you get a different answer depending who asks the question.
Yeah.
And so we're not interested in any bias with who's asking a question. We're more interested in what your answer to a question is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's how we're gonna do it, and we'll like select it to 10 questions, and they'll get it at the beginning, and it's like those are the entirety of the 10 questions, and you're not gonna get more questions later where you're gonna have to suddenly answer a whole bunch real quick. Yeah, essentially that's the process, and then we just go into after you do the questions, you go into the election process, and then what we will probably do is we will announce who the new admin was at the quarterly in May.
In May, yes.
In May. So basically, one concern that might come up is this might kind of conflict with like things going on with BLFC. For instance, we decided that we'll probably do the voting process will go on during BLFC, so that's kind of essentially the easiest part, because then it's just like each person just votes. And it's like once you vote, then yeah, it's pretty simple there. So it'll probably start in April. We'll just need to figure out exactly how long we want to do each portion, because there's 4 portions. We want to figure out how long we want to do each portion, and then we'll probably get that on the way when it comes up. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it.
Okay.
Is that where we're gonna take on a 4th admin? So.
Yep. And what the reason why we want to do that is because if we just say, either Tots or I had to leave early just to make this fit the schedule, it's like neither of us want to do that. You know? So let's just bring in a 4th. It's the path of least resistance. And,
exactly.
The extra help might not be a bad idea either. So.
Yeah.
What kind of questions are you guys looking for when you're asking this new admin?
A lot of questions usually involve. I actually have one that I have one on my mind that I probably will ask. That I will probably submit, and that is, I would do the question of, usually when you're an admin, there's many different facets to being an admin. There's the organization, there is participation. There is there's outreach. There's the outreach thing that Oaken likes to do, and my question would be, what is your strongest suit? What is your what would you say of if you were an admin? What would you say your strongest quality? What would you do best at being an admin? Like personally, for me, it's like I would say my best quality is organize. The way I organize, is the way I create and I organize the events, and I try and get it, and I try to get things on like a schedule and creating that schedule, and I try to get meets planned at least 2 weeks in advance, and like so that organization process is probably where I do best. Oaken's is definitely got to be how he like outreaches and how he connects with the community, and how he basically does like his outreach thing. And with Tatsu, I'd probably say it's just kind of the experience that he's had before. He had like sort of his knowledge of how people react to various things, and how if we say we're gonna do this, and he's very good at knowing like how people are going to react to that, and just sort of like thinking in that process. So it's like, what would you say? And so my question is, what would your strongest suit be? And that's just like a question.
Sure.
I'm trying to. I remember a question that was asked of me last election was, what would you say? What are some of your weakest points? You know, what is something you probably need to work on, or or there was like a question of.
That question is so cliche.
Yeah,
so
it's a little.
Welcome to baby's first job interview.
Yeah, right. I guess it is. I guess it's essentially like. I guess it's kind of like questions that you would maybe find on a job interview, because this is essentially what this is. It is kind of a job interview.
You're too much of a perfectionist.
I think that's what I put, actually.
Oh God, the playbook.
But yeah, it's essentially like the kind of questions that you would ask. It's kind of like it is basically like a job interview.
So with that in mind, what kind of responsibilities does an admin take on, and how much time during a week do you guys dedicate to being admins?
It's mainly the main thing that we tend to work on is mainly creating events and coming. It's like coming. It's like we'll usually create the events, and we need to like go through and figure out times, places. Do we need to contact the places? I have my my sheet here that I can show you. Where I would have to go to. I basically have my info sheet here. Probably pull it up on. Is that one I recently did?
It's an old picture of your icon on the right hand side.
Info. And sort of like this is like, for instance, this is the thing that I created, and I created this event template right here. And so I have the event name, the event date, description, the time, what time I want, the day I want it planned, and I say usually 2 weeks before, and then I'll check this plan once it is planned, and I have locations, and then I have I contact the establishment, whether it's done or now I don't need to, the age rating, will we have fursuits, yes or no, and an exception in case there is one, how much it'll cost, who's attending, and then also just sort of backup location things, and then I have the Facebook link and the meetup link.
Cool.
And so that's sort of the stuff I do for planning an event in that regard.
You're always gonna get your cliche questions too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you absolutely will. And so it's event planning, and then there's just kind of like the other sort of like projects that we work on, like the waiver or the outreach, or whatever you kind of feel is important in improving upon what you do. And then there is the occasional, we do need to like settle disputes every now and then, and we just kind of like, well, like a lot of times in the admin chat, we'll sort of like keep an eye out for like if we see like conflict, because a lot of times the thing is that we really can't step in unless it's something that has happened in our domain, essentially, whether it's on the Facebook group or at our events. The U2F2 Telegram chat is not ours, because that's a separate thing. That's actually run by Oaken and Core.
Data owns it.
Datas. Okay. People still hear me? Am I still good?
I think so.
Okay. I heard a budink, and I was like, So yeah, basically, and a lot of times, I feel like most of the time it's like, we'll like, if there's a dispute that goes on, we'll kind of see it and go, and we'll just be like, okay, we got to keep an eye on this, make sure nothing happens there, and we just got to watch out for these people or for this thing that's going on, and we just gotta, it's a lot of like, it's mostly just kind of like, we're just like watching the porters, almost of like watching the borders, and we're just kind of like, oh, I think I see something going on over there. Let's just keep an eye on it, make sure nothing happens. Okay, it's like, okay, it seems to have worked itself out. I think we're good.
I think it's definitely a new thing for this community, because several years ago, before even I joined it, the meets were the community. You didn't have Telegram. You had maybe Facebook or the Yahoo group, but it's still not the same as having Telegram. And
yeah,
we're way more.
Oh yeah, Telegram has like completely like revolutionized, just like made like, yeah, just kind of made the community come together.
You can be furry
so
all
better.
day, and with Telegram.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was you're furry maybe with your friends or at the meets, but
it was basically as soon as Telegram came around, that was when I started going to meets, because I knew about them. Pretty much, kind of, yeah.
And I guess along those
And
lines,
I got to know the people, but yeah.
along the lines of drama like that, the one thing we do want to express, and this has kind of come up as an issue lately in relation to the waiver and the parental release that we talked about earlier, is all of our meets are 18 plus, or if you're a minor, 16 to 17 with a parent or a guardian. That's never going to change. I know there's been I saw a request today for a meet saying all ages. We just can't do that. It is all ages, as long as you have your guardian there.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing I had before we hop into our final topic, was the member spotlight.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for another suggestion on who we should interview to do another spotlight with. So I'm going to go ahead and post this form if you guys want to nominate someone to get the spotlight done on them. We'll just take the suggestions from here and kind of pick and see who we think would be a good person to interview.
And chances are we're not just gonna put this out there. We're not going to. I mean, we're probably gonna consider it less if you go. You could put me as the spotlight.
Yeah, nominate somebody other than yourself.
Yeah, it's like someone who you feel is actually.
Actually, I should add that as a question.
Right.
Your name.
And I don't think admins qualify either.
No.
No, we don't qualify.
Okay, that's been updated. So your name and the person you'd like to recommend for spotlight, and why you're recommending them.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we can move on to our final section. What meets would we like to do next quarter?
All right. So we're looking at meets for April, May, and June. Those are the months that we are looking at. So it's like springtime. And also, one thing to keep in mind is BLFC will be on the second weekend in May, which is normally when we have our paid event. So, I mean, we're going to BLFC, me and Oaken on our Tatsu probably is as well. And so in that case, for that second meet, we might need to have a liaison, yeah, as someone who'd be willing to kind of like just be kind of like a honorary
So
admin for that meet.
we'll probably want to talk about that a little bit more, maybe with the community too, because we tried that last year, and I think Tumbles went to do that meet for us, and nobody showed. So we may just
Because we're a lot of people have seen.
yeah, it may be worth just rescheduling that one.
They said they lost their sound again.
Oh shoot. Check. Hello. Can you? No. No.
Alright, you're off again.
Am I good? Hello? What's going on? Connecting. Am I losing?
Crappy public Wi-Fi.
Hello. Yes, I get a voice connection again. There we go.
Hello, hello.
That's public Wi-Fi for you. Lost it for a second. All right. What exactly? At what point did I cut out? Or did one of us cut out? What were we saying? Oh yeah, for May. Okay, so basically we basically just said we would need a.
Yeah, we might do a liaison for that meet, or we could just reschedule it because last year it just didn't work out very well.
Mhm.
Tumbles went to the hiking meet and nobody showed. So
Yeah, it's probably because all of us were at BLFC.
yeah, so we may just we can talk about this more, but we may consider rescheduling that one
Mm-hmm.
for later in the month, maybe after the quarterly or something.
Yeah.
Other big things going on in those months, just to kind of get people thinking about ideas. We got Easter coming up. The Pride Parade is in June.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going on holiday-wise? Memorial Weekend.
Uh-huh.
Anybody know of any other parades or anything like that going on? I can't think of anything else right now.
Yeah. Halloween in July is a thing anymore. Maybe it is, but
When
that's
was that?
July.
When was that Magna thing?
The Magna thing?
Yeah.
Is that that was probably the Halloween in July, right?
Yeah.
It's in July.
Okay.
I don't know if that's still a thing. I'd have to ask Abby, 'cause she would absolutely know about that.
It was last year. It was a lot of fun. However, it was also extremely hot.
Yes, I know. I fursuited at that.
Oh man, you must have been.
Oh
dying.
man, that was an experience. I fursuited in 100-degree weather. I actually lasted about an hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had umbrellas covering us during that, and whenever my legs peeked out from underneath, it felt like I was like baking. It was so hot.
Yeah. It was interesting. I actually felt it was funny it was like after a while it would get hot, but I noticed that it's like when I first suited, like when I first put it on, it was actually cooler in the first suit for a little bit
June 16th.
because I wasn't getting sun directly on me. What was that?
It's June 16th this year.
Oh, really? So it's no longer Halloween in July; it's Halloween in June.
They lost
I
sound
guess.
again. I'll just unmute.
Check. Ha ha ha.
They-
Yeah, it looks
they
like
can hear.
there's something on the 15th and then the 16th.
I'm gonna mute you.
Okay. It's weird.
So we got Pride. We got this Magna thing. When is Pride? I want to check that. Pride, Utah.
So have you guys heard?
Yeah, right in the Twilight Zone.
We did actually.
You'll
I'm
have-
back. I'm
you'll
back
have-
apparently, which is probably why that happened.
Okay.
Dude, also Josh Joe.
You'll have to mute your speaker if we want to keep going through me.
Uh, okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
So anyway, have you guys heard of Ingress? It was the predecessor to Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it would be kind of interesting to set up a time where you had like a 2-hour period, and And there's 2 different teams in there, the Resistance and the Enlightened. Have people sign up on both teams, go to a place where there's a lot of portals, and then have people try to claim the most portals as they can in that time period. And that could be a free meet we do.
That's interesting.
Cost anything.
I don't know anything about that game.
Describe it again for me. I was kind of like half paying attention to
It's
that.
a predecessor to Pokemon Go. It's basically a augmented reality.
Right. We've got 2 different teams, the Enlightened and the Resistance, and you're both trying to claim portals which have influence on human minds in the world. And you connect the portals to form minefields.
Oh, okay.
And so it would be interesting to have a meet where you could see how many minefields you could build in that time period and who can hold the most on each side.
About how big is the area that you would do that in?
It would depend because it's an augmented reality game, so we could decide how big it is. You could even do it. I know there are parks out there with like a whole bunch of portals in that same area, so you could do that, or like go around the capital. Or
I'm just thinking, it's just like this. I just know that like with Pokemon Go, for instance, like those ones span cities and yeah. But it's like, yeah, if this was like something that we could contain like in a park, that'd be
Because a lot of people in this fandom drive.
Do a lot of people in this fandom drive?
No, I don't think a lot of people in this fandom drive. So, but then you can have designated drivers if everyone pitches in a few bucks for gas and stuff like that. So we did have wonderful weather today. It was beautiful.
It is.
What?
Since we were walking out the door, they gave us like a winter warning message on our phones.
Interesting.
You're
Yeah,
like,
the wind was
what?
pretty big.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently through Monday,
Like winter chill warning.
up to 10 inches of snow.
It's 10 inches of snow.
One meet that we do want to do again this year that was a big success last year in May was the Murray Park potluck. We're kind of thinking maybe just do like every 2 quarters do a potluck, one in spring, one in fall. It's a great time for everyone to get out in fursuit or have some fun. So
That one was a real fun one.
so we'll probably throw that in again as an extra meet, not a monthly meet.
Okay. And then we also have one that I would like. Do we have? Are you writing these down?
Yeah.
Because like I would have to like close Discord and take it off the screen. But well, one thing I've always said is like I wanted to do. I don't know if this would be paid or free. Is go to Antelope Island.
That would be free.
Would it be free?
If you go to like the they have like a farmhouse there. I think you pay a couple bucks for the tour there. It's kind of neat. It's like a 1900 home somebody built out there. But yeah, getting up on the mountain and doing the tour, getting on the beaches, that's all free.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So are we just we're considering free meets right now?
So we were just kind of brainstorming like what big meets were coming up, like Pride and that sort of stuff, so we can move into listing them out now. So what free meets for April are we interested in at that time? So this is going to be spring weather, hopefully.
We can do Peace Gardens again. Peace Gardens are nice.
And we're taking suggestions in chat right now, guys. So if you'd like to,
If we could also find the rules online for. I've seen people do Quidditch or something like that.
Oh, Quidditch in the park.
Together in the park and do that.
Okay.
would the Ingress thing be at a park too, or would you?
We could find a location that has a lot of portals in a park area, so
Okay.
we're not doing it citywide.
Okay. Downtown might be a good place then. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Quidditch at the park. At Antelope Island. Any suggestions from those in chat right now?
event where people could come in fursuit or come as humans, and you have stats assigned to whatever race you are, and then we do some sort of RP events in suits.
That'd be good. Potentially work, and then I have to consult because I don't know. That would be. I feel like that'd be a good one for like where Tatsu would shine, especially because D&D is definitely his thing.
If there were to be foam weapons there definitely need to be waivers as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just pulling up a recommendation from, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Octilic. This was earlier when we first started the meet. The next quarter, the group could do Trafalgar and Lehigh. They have laser tag, an arcade, and indoor and outdoor miniature golf course.
That would be a pay, yeah.
Also Boondocks, which has all the same things, right in Draper.
We've had a lot of suiting luck at Mulligan's playing mini golf.
Okay.
Let's see. Pull up the email. Oops.
Oh yeah, Nico and I were thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of doing a bulk list right now. I'm not breaking it down into months.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably better. I feel like that's what we did last time.
Okay.
I know it's like if we're just coming up with, because the sound is being choppy for me. Turn up the sensitivity input.
I can try. It's almost max input. It's 100% now, and it's 100% on Windows when I checked earlier. We can try a different setting. Is that better?
Check. Hello. Here upon this pillow, made of reed and willow.
We'll just turn down the sensitivity all the way so it picks up everything. Hello. Okay, that seems to work better.
Okay. Better. Okay.
But now you'll hear me typing, so too bad.
But there's also are we also kind of going into paid events as well?
Yeah, this is kind of a bulk list here.
Bulk list, okay. Well then, let's put escape rooms and mystery theater on there as well.
Love to do an escape room. That'd be a lot of fun.
We've done an escape room, and it was I really enjoyed it. Escape rooms are kind of my thing. Like I've done many an escape room online before, and I've done the one that we did. I went to the event that we had, and then I've done an escape room, and I've done some at Castle Chaos.
Whereabouts is an official escape room here in Salt Lake?
Right down in Draper, they've got one right off the freeway in 123rd. It's Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
They are really good quality.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They do, yeah, they do one. I forget. I feel like there was something, like, cause when I was doing one for work when I worked at IKEA, I think they consider that place, but they said there was something like that made them say no to them because it was like they do it at night or something. I don't remember exactly.
We've gone.
Have you?
During the day, yeah, we've done a Harry Potter and a zombie escape room,
Which were both so much fun. As you were going through the zombie one, they'll eventually come up and like rattle the doors around you, and then there's a point where you get chased. It was fun.
Oh, cool. They go all out on theirs.
Their quality is
Superb.
Okay.
We've gone to several throughout the valley now.
You said Alcatraz?
Alcatraz, yes.
How much is it?
I think it's going to be about
30-ish a
$25
person or
to $30
something.
a person.
Okay. I think that's about normal anyway. Because castles, I think, is $20 a person. And then, speaking of castle, Mystery Theater is the other thing I was talking about. And what Mystery Theater is it's basically a live action point and click adventure. They have they'll do some kind of theme. I used to act in the shows, and I probably will as soon as when I'm able to do it again. Basically they do some kind of theme. They've done Greek gods. They've done Alice in Wonderland. They've done your stereotypical Clue type of thing. They've done what else have I been in? I did a Peter Pan one, and they'll take a theme and they'll write a story. They'll write a story they'll write this mystery, and usually what it is you start off and they've got two portions. You could go in first and have dinner, and or you can come in. You can basically come in. You just get a later start time, and you just come in after everyone's had dinner, and then they'll start the show, and they'll do an opening scene basically to set the story, and then after they've done their opening scene, everybody goes out, and you go up and you go into their sets, and you go and you look for clues, and you talk to the characters, and characters will usually say something like a lot of times people ask them questions of, do you know what happened to I'll do the Alice in Wonderland one. That was the most recent one I was in. The situation was the Queen of Hearts was killed, and we need to figure out the Queen of Hearts was killed, and the Heart of Wonderland was stolen, and so you have to go and you have to figure out what happened to those, who killed her, and what happened to the Heart of Wonderland. And I remember my character it's there's things that the March Hare needed mome rats, for instance, and so and it was kind of a situation of, I'll tell you this, or I'll give you this if you give me this. And so essentially what you do is you go out and you find a mome rat, you give him a mome rat, he goes, oh, and he'll give you something else, and somebody else somewhere, some other character needs this thing that they gave you, so you go and you give that to them, and eventually through trading cards and all of that fun stuff, you eventually figure out the mystery, and then you figure out essentially who ended up killing the queen and taking the Heart of Wonderland.
What was it called again?
I think it's called Chaos Mysteries. Now, it used to be called Mystery Theater. It's Chaos Mysteries, and it takes place at Castle of Chaos.
That'd be an awesome one.
So essentially go to the Castle of Chaos webpage, find my face, and then you will find my face, and it'll tell you about Mystery Theater. It'll be my face. I will have what looks like the semblance of a black beard and me holding a sword like this. I'm not even joking, but that's what Mystery Theater is. It's essentially a live action point and click adventure. So yeah, those two things are on the list there. We have
Improv night. That's always good fun.
yeah, improv. That would be a free.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
An
You'd
improv.
either do it. You could do it at a cafe or a space like this or something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
could potentially do it in a space like this. It's ridiculously easy to rent out the space. You just got to make sure you do it far enough in advance so that you can get a spot.
If we have makers in the group that are interested in putting together a presentation for something like this, you could do something like a cosplay building or something like that, because I think a lot of the community is probably interested in that sort of thing since we're
For a
first.
cosplay class.
So we could teach like EVA foam armor making, or maybe fursuit making or something like that.
We tried to kick something off like that last summer, and it just kind of lost some traction just because it was hard to find a place that allowed us to make a mess.
Yeah.
We were looking at a Joanne's. There was a big one up, I think it was in Centerville, but it's far,
Yeah.
Finding a space where you can have a lot of people making messes is difficult.
This is far too, but there's a place called Anarchy Girls Cos Space, which is specifically for this sort of thing.
Okay.
That we could perhaps work with them and do something.
What was the name of that again?
Anarchy Girls Cos Space. It's up in North Salt Lake.
Anarchy Girls Cause Space. that might be more like a specialty event. I think it'd be something we'd have to have a couple people kind of team up to make happen.
For sure.
But I know that's definitely an interest, and I think if we can figure out a way to pull it off, it would be awesome.
Well, since we're looking at good weather as well, we could do like just frisbee if we wanted to do something free, or if you wanted to do like frisbee golf as a paid event, that could be a thing too.
Have you played frisbee golf?
Huh?
Have you played frisbee golf?
I haven't. No. I know the premise, but I never played it.
Top golf could be a good paid event.
Yeah.
The more people you have, the cheaper it gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Because it's like you essentially rent.
You rent a bay.
Bay, yeah.
And you can have like up to 6 or 8 people per bay.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's been a lot of fun.
I've done it. It's fun. I know it does cost some money though.
That's funny, but again, it's like the more people who come, the cheaper it gets.
Yep.
Frisbee golf is relaxed. I don't know. I've heard that it's like frisbee golf's a lot of running, right? So
Yeah.
like,
Definitely like a nighttime park meet.
oh, is it really?
No, that's what I would recommend, so it's not hot.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do it in the evening. Also, I hear from what I've been told about Antelope Island is make sure you bring bug spray.
Especially once it warms up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in the heat. Antelope Island stinks.
Yeah.
So if you go early in the day, before noon, it's $25 per hour per base, so it's about $4.20 per person.
Okay.
That's not too bad. Any other suggestions?
Just knowing you're not going to catch anything.
That's not what it's about.
I do want to start it.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
That
Pond with no pesky fish.
O'Neill was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
What other
Love how we
meat
tried to
suggestions
combine
do you
it.
guys have? We're just kind of taking a bulk suggestion right now, and then we'll kind of filter them out for what's good, time-wise, month-wise, because we're looking at April, May, and June.
You could go wander around Gardner Village. I think getting into Clark Planetarium is free, and we can go see the videos for a small fee.
Again, there's the aquarium. The aquarium's expensive.
Oh, the aquarium's so expensive. Do we have a joint?
For September. I'm just gonna have to wait till May on that one.
The South Jordan Parkway is a good place for walking or bike rides. It's right down there where you wanted to hold the snow fur show photo shoot at first in that riverbed.
Oh yeah, the river. What was? Oh, what is that?
The South Jordan Parkways.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of walkways down there to go explore and things.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. The Jordan River Trail is. Oh, easy.
Check out that one out too.
Yeah.
We did that last year. That was fun. The river trail, just one river. It's not even a river. It's a canal.
No, it's a creek.
I don't know, that's giving it a lot of credit there. I'm trying to find the join link for the outreach chat. I can't remember when I took that off the bottom.
What is this dark crystal thing?
It's a movie. They're
Yeah.
showing it in.
I've seen it.
Oh,
I've seen
God.
Dark
I
Crystal.
so want to see that in the movie theaters.
That would be super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it's a Fountain of Events. I've seen Dark Crystal, but
We went last year or the year before when it was the 30th anniversary of Labyrinth and saw it on the big screen. That was
It
super
was
cool.
so amazing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, basically a showing. I mean, we could essentially just do a movie meet, like go to a movie theater.
Yes.
Considering
Is
Isle
that
of
the
Dogs is
request?
coming out pretty soon.
When is it?
Isle of Dogs.
So I think we'll probably kick up the bonfire meets once it warms up a little bit more again too.
Release date is March 23rd.
March 23rd, so that's
Does anyone know when daylight savings kicks back in?
I'm not sure.
March 11th. So not too far away.
Yeah, not too far.
Appears to have expired. Weird. I don't know, I'll have to work on that later. I'll push out the invite link to that. Alright guys, anything else?
Got a good list there.
Fairly decent.
Pretty good.
We could probably pull from some previous ones too if we have
Yep.
to. And of course, if these events don't get picked or there's something that you really want to see get done that doesn't get voted on, come talk to us and we'll help you organize it and help you do that, because there's only so many days that we can do, only so many meets that we can do for these, and if we have more meets, that's always better too. So.
Before we officially end, I forgot to check if the submission form, if we got anything.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh, not that one. I'll get a quarterly topics. Got one from Andrew. He was recommending a shooting contest and archery contest.
Okay.
And then we have one, this is from Octilic again. He says, I really can't come to meets due to current circumstances, but a really cool place to meet would be Trafalgar. Okay, so he posted that again.
Okay.
And there's more to hit here. Make sure I read all of them.
I only see 2.
They have an arcade, sorry, the text he wrote.
Oh, I see.
They also have an arcade, indoor miniature golf, and outdoor miniature golf. The go-karts are there for people under 5'6", I think. You can get in free if you have 7 Peaks Pass and all the passes cards.
Lehigh's not too terribly south.
So, any other issues anybody needs to bring up? This would be the time to do it before we wrap up here. Anything we can do better? Anything that needs to be done better? Any conflicts? Any issues?
People are clicky clacky. Nico says he's got one maybe. Yeah, we pretty much finished everything on the agenda. We talked about everything we wanted to talk about.
We are recording this, and I'll post it at some point here. I might need somebody with Premiere to help me out because I canceled my subscription. So.
For what, editing the audio?
Yeah, because you can't just upload an audio file to YouTube. You have to have it has to be in a video format.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what Amy said about. Let's see. How about a class on handling to refresh people on the subject and teach new members fursuit handling?
I like it.
That's alright.
Probably have some people that might be interested in teaching that too.
Mm-hmm. I definitely know of some people who are very good at handling and others who are very not good at handling.
She's true. All right, guys, last chance, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Any other things you'd like to talk about? So I guess to kind of wrap up, be thinking about who you'd like to nominate for the fourth admin. That'll be coming up in April.
Late April, mid-April, late April, when we'll start doing that process.
I don't know if we can handle a Raptor president.
It's not even really a president either. We're not. But Raptor in the China shop. No, it's I'm thinking of Raptor in a. It's Raptor in the kitchen.
Bad Chrono.
Um,
2 lashings.
You know how to open your doors, how to open your computer doors, sliding high-tech doors. All right. Okay, I think that's pretty much all there is.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and next quarterly will be in the end of May, so we hope to see you there as well. Thank you.
Yep.